Hey guys, buenos dias. I'm basically home on a Tuesday today because, well, I burnt myself out working. And you know something's wrong when you wake up at 4 a.m. to work out. You go work 11 to 12 hour day. And then you come home and you can't go to sleep until 1 a.m. Something's definitely wrong. And you drivers out there, you know what's up. It's not like it's one big stress. It's a bunch of little stressors put together. This guy cutting you off, or red light taking too long, almost getting into an accident, and then poco a poco it just builds up over the day. And it probably has a lot to do with the cortisol. Buenos dias. And we don't realize how much that affects us, but it does. And personally, I refuse to work more than 11 and 12 hours, 6 days a week. That's basically my limit. So what I wanted to talk about mostly in this video, and I've mentioned that before, is cutting your costs when you come over here to Tijuana so you can actually enjoy your life. And right now, my biggest expense is my car that I don't even use. Okay, and just going back in time, if I could do it over, I bought this car so that I could drive Uber and Lyft, and I thought it would save me money, because when you do rent a car for Uber and Lyft, you're paying a weekly fee. The weekly fee on my car right now is $366, but you also have no liability. Okay, if you get in up to 2 accidents, they'll take care of it. It's happened to me before. Also, you pay no maintenance. Okay, and you got unlimited miles, so it's more peace of mind. The cons are that big weekly fee of $366 that you pay. So you do got to grind away 11 and 12 hour days to make sure you pull in from $1,000 to $1,200 a week, right? The pros of having your own car, doing ride share, is that you're only paying for insurance and your car payment. So like my payment, because I was in an accident, was only about $900 for the month. Okay, but going back in time, I wouldn't have done that, because you got to think, when you have your own car, you're putting all those miles on your car, and when you get to 150,000 miles, how much car do you actually have left? Well, the truth is, not much of a car, right? So, you know what, guys? I'm at the point now where I realize that this job is straining my health. It's not healthy for me. It's not only am I risking my life, but it's also mental stress, because I don't want to be out there driving people around, right? But you got to do it to pay the bills. So the most logical move, basically, is to cut my costs. And the thing that's killing me the most is that car payment that I have. It's not even paid off, right? I've been paying it since I bought the car. I believe bought it in 2022, and payments aren't done until November, but that's $400 extra a month that I could have in savings, or to use money to invest for whatever. And like this month, honestly, was a crazy bad month. And it's because of that car payment as well as, you know, paying for Uber. So I'm realizing after a year of being here that almost all of my misery about my life here comes from otro lado. You know, it comes from crossing the line. It comes from my bills, you know, that I gotta pay on the other side. It's not all misery, okay, because, you know, I do belong to a great jiu-jitsu academy. I'll talk more about that, you know, in a little bit. But you guys out there that are grinding like myself, you ever ask yourself what you're doing day to day with your life, with your time? Because that time that you spend out there working just to pay the bills and provide for your family, if you have children, you can't ever get that time back. And when you're 49 years old, time becomes even more of a precious commodity. It always is anyhow, right? But it becomes even more of a precious commodity because we have less of it. And I'm at the point now where I value my time and how I spend it even more than my credit. Because I am going to put my car up for sale. It's a 2019 Chevy Cruze with 166,000 miles on it. If you guys are interested, just DM me on the Instagram for this page. I'm going to put it up for sale, and hey bro, at the end of this month, if nobody buys it, I may even default on the car because I'd rather have bad credit and have time at this point than kill myself trying to pay all of my bills that are like, all my bills are from otro lado, man. Like what an error that was. It's basically right now for me in my situation, it's my car payment. And if I were to just stay on the rental program, it's more peace of mind and you're paying more, you know, and you can leave that car whenever you want, just return it when you don't feel like driving, when you have other income coming in from your side hustles, instead of being stuck with a car. I don't want to go into the specifics of, you know, what I got to pay for in registration and all that, but you get my drift, right? What I'm talking about. It's my bills from otro lado that's killing me, and one day in paradise is not enough for me anymore. I want 2 days. Is that too much to ask? No. And all of you out there that are in my situation, that are grinding for the future, grinding for the future, grinding for the future, I want you to really stop and ask yourself, is it worth it? Because of the present moment that you're wasting, you can't get that back. And that's a scary thing for me. There are a lot of things that I put off, you know, to go out there and work, that it's just like, for example, my apartment is a mess, okay? I got a clogged up sink in my bathroom. I haven't unclogged it for months. I haven't seen the dentist. I haven't gone to see the doctor to check my blood pressure. None of that, because I'm so worried about losing a day of work out there, okay? And what are we making out there? 250 bucks max in the day. Is that worth your life? I don't think so. Let me check my notes here so I don't talk to you guys in circles. At this point, if I quit paying for my car, I'd have an extra $413 a month, okay? So my payments for this car would have ended in this November. So that's $4,000 that I would have in my bank account. And for someone like me that doesn't have a retirement, and I know there are a lot of you guys out there in the same situation, we are not in a good spot, okay? We are not in a good spot. Most people have 49, 50, 51, they got a 401k, they got investments going on. They're already looking at a more, they have a more realistic look of retirement than you guys, you grinders out there like myself that are out there just, you know, just trying to get to the next week, trying to get to the next week, trying to get through the month. And I'm done doing that, man. I didn't come down here to be living out my life one day a week, okay? How many days do we have in the week? 52? So I got 52 days in the year to live out my life in paradise here in Playas? How does that make any sense? What about the rest of the 6 days of the week? And for you guys out there that, you know, you want to come down here and you're thinking about crossing the line to work, all I'm saying is put in place a plan to get out of that, because you're not going to want to do that for long, and cut as many costs as you can. Now, getting to jiu-jitsu, I told you guys I was going to talk about jiu-jitsu. Now, everybody knows that jiu-jitsu in Otro Lado is super expensive, man. It's like, you know, between $160 to $200 a month, right? Okay. My big mistake was I didn't even give it a chance to come check out the jiu-jitsu in Tijuana aquí, because there is jiu-jitsu here, but I didn't even give it a chance. I got caught up in all of the hype that, you know, San Diego is the mecca of jiu-jitsu, you know, best jiu-jitsu in the world. At least it used to be. Now everything's evolving, right? And so I didn't even give it a chance. And for someone at my age that is not a career jiu-jitero, and I'm just, you know, I just want to be able to do it and maybe once in a while compete. You know, all you other jiu-jiteros out there that are training, you know, by the time you get to brown belt, jiu-jitsu is basically what you make it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's great to have good training partners. It's great to have guys with a wrestling background that can scramble and push you. But what is it all for when you're in your 50s? You know, you just want to be active and you just want to do it. And that's what I've learned, you know, the most, that I could have been happy here, but now it's too late, because the gym that I go to, Studio 540, is such a fantastic gym. I can't say enough good things about it. I mean, it's the first time I've been to an academy where it turned out to be everything that I wished a martial arts gym would be. Not just a jiu-jitsu gym, mind you, any martial arts gym, and I've been to a whole mess of them. Muay Thai, MMA, other jiu-jitsu gyms. And the minute I walked into this academy, the way people treated me, okay, the way they spoke to me, the fact that there's no affiliation, they just want you to come and learn it. You guys out there training, you know what's up, man. Jiu-jitsu is kind of like gangs, right? If you're Gracie Baja, you can't go train at Atos, man. You know how it goes, okay? And to be at a place where they don't care about uniform and they just want you to come and learn, it's like the ideal, you know, you guys, another American, right? Here he goes. You see him running with his German Shepherd? Okay. You guys know how it goes. I mean, it's more of a Brazilian thing, right? Not so much now, because jiu-jitsu's gotten more modern, and I don't want to get into a whole spiel about jiu-jitsu affiliations, but to come to a place that has the same ideals that you have, no affiliation, it's just about the sport, no uniform. Now it's too late. And now I'm probably always going to be crossing over to train. But that's $197 extra is my point, that I could have been saving a month. So 197 bucks plus the 413. I mean, bro, you know, that's like 600 bucks, bro. You know, how much is that in a year? And that's my advice to you all out there. If you're coming over here to live in Tijuana, cut as many ties as you can to the other side, because for me and my situation, that is the source of my misery. Okay, with the exception of the great academy I go to, you know, and I hate to say it, guys, but I want nothing to do with Otro Lado right now, except for the fact that I can make dollars for sure. You know, thank God for that I'm an American, that, you know, I can keep making dollars, you know, while living here. Thank God for that. I do appreciate that. But everything else, you know, at the cost of living, mostly. You're coming to Mexico, why? Because you want a better quality of life. So in order to maximize that, you got to cut ties to the other side. If you got a car payment on the other side, man, that's going to mess you up. You got debt on the other side, and I do have debt. It's gonna hold you back. And after a year, I can see clearly now that all those little ties that I have to the other side are holding me back, okay, from enjoying my life here, really living my life here. And you don't want to do that, okay? You don't want to put off living just to grind at a job that you hate just to pay the bills. How does that make any sense? You're gonna end up like me, man, where you started your day at 4 a.m. and you come home and you still can't fall asleep at 1 a.m. and it's a waste of time. I'm telling you now. You know what they say, smart people learn from other people's mistakes, right? Stupid people are gonna go ahead and go out there and make those mistakes firsthand. So I'm trying to save you from that grief, okay? I mean, look at this place. I meant to make a video down there by the shore, but it's actually high tide right now, so nobody's on the shore. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in to Mike in Mexico. I really appreciate it. Guys, if you find value in my content, please like and subscribe, because it really does help me out. This YouTube channel is actually part of my retirement plan, because like I always say, my goal is to make videos full time for you guys, better quality videos. In order for me to do that, I'm gonna have to have more time to learn how to edit and go places and spend more time thinking about good content to give you guys, okay? Well, that went a lot faster than I thought it would. I just had all these things on my mind that I wanted to tell you guys last night and this morning, and you know, it just flew by in a blur. So I hope you guys got some good information about me exposing my life here, guys. And I'll talk to you again soon. Okay? Que te vaya bien. Have a good day. Bye.